Ratchet and Clank has been a huge part of my childhood when it comes to video games, and Insomniac have decided to go back to the complete start of it and master it all over again. Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4 is one of my most anticipated games for 2016, because it's beautiful, nostalgic, and fresh all at the same time. However, many people are confused about the game. Is it just a remake of the original? Is it the quote-unquote game version of the upcoming movie? What exactly is it? I'm going to answer those exact questions and inform you about everything you need to know about Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4.
Well, someone had to take the picture, right? I mean, come on. I even have a ship. It disassembles so it can infiltrate enemy strongholds.
First of all, I think we should dive into the most important question that people are asking, and that is, what exactly is Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4? Many people believe that this upcoming title is just simply a remake of the first Ratchet and Clank game that launched on PlayStation 2 all of those years ago, with better graphics and new weapons. While that is partially true, there are important differences between the two titles. Firstly, the obvious difference is of course the visuals. Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4 is blowing people's minds when it comes to the visuals of the game and the style. This game rarely gives you that I'm literally playing a Pixar movie type of feeling. Insomniac explains that they were really wanting to push the PlayStation 4 to its limits when developing this game, and I can definitely see what they mean by that. The second important difference is the story. The story layout for the new Ratchet and Clank is quite different to the original. As of right now, we don't know too much about the story itself, but it's going to take different turns. Most notably, this new Ratchet & Clank is told from the perspective of Captain Quark, and the game follows like a story that's being told. This is going to add a lot of humorous moments throughout the game, as Captain Quark usually likes to over-exaggerate things. There is also a lot of new characters who will be important to the story, like Cora, Alaris, Victor Von Eon, and many more. Dr. Nefarious is actually in the game as well, which is a big difference, as originally Dr. Nefarious was the primary villain in the third Ratchet & Clank game for PlayStation 2. Dr. Nefarious will work alongside Chairman Drek as an evil scientist before he became a robot. The start of the game seems to be altered compared to the original as well. At the start of the game, we can see Ratchet lying around, and he then notices a spaceship crash landing. This is similar to the start of the PlayStation 2 version, however the game starts us off at finding Clank rather than journeying through Veldin to get to him. Our primary goal once Ratchet finds Clank is to take Clank back to Ratchet's workshop to repair Clank's broken leg. On the way back, we can notice a Blarg trying to attack both Ratchet and Clank, which might point towards the Blarg wanting to capture Clank, as it's likely he escaped from somewhere similar to the first game. Clank explains to Ratchet that there is an evil villain called Drek who is putting planets in danger, and that he has plans to attack the Hall of Heroes located in Planet Kerwin. From here on in, this is where our story begins. Okay, so this is the game of the upcoming Ratchet and Clank movie, right? Well, to answer that question, yes and no. The game and the movie have the same story, but are both told from different perspectives. The events that are happening in the game won't be displayed in the movie. However, Insomniac explained during an interview at PlayStation Experience last year that there will be parts of the game where the movie will cross over. In other words, to get the full understanding of everything that is going on, it's probably recommended to experience both the game and the movie. I automatically know I'll be doing that, because I'm a huge fan of the series, man. However, it's important to note that the game is not a simple retelling of the movie. The original planets from the first game will appear, but on top of them, 3 new ones will be added. It's important to note that the layout of the original planets we've become so used to will be changed a bit. This will provide us with a nostalgic experience, revisiting familiar places, but will also give us a fresh taste as there will be new areas to these older planets. Weapons are of course very important when it comes to Ratchet and Clank, and Insomniac are known for their creativity behind them. There will be new weapons added to the game. One example of a new addition is the Pixelator, which is being displayed a lot during the gameplay demos we've already seen. There will also be familiar weapons from Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time, as well as tools of destruction. In terms of the original Ratchet & Clank 1 weapons, some will also return, like the Pyrocitor and an altered version of the Bomb Glove. Weapon leveling is of course returning like any Ratchet & Clank game. This will however feel new, as of course Ratchet & Clank 1 never had weapon leveling. You'll be able to level up your weapon normally by using it to defeat enemies. However, there will also be an in-depth weapon upgrade system. As you play through the game, you'll end up collecting a familiar material to the Ratchet and Clank universe, which is known as Raritanium. This is spent to apply different upgrades to your weapons, and trust me, there is a lot of upgrades to go through. This is a fantastic aspect, as you'll be constantly getting rewarded for using your weapons and, of course, collecting Raritanium. The gameplay of the new game will feel similar to that of the Future series that was on PlayStation 3. This is great because, as many of you know, there was no lock-on strafing in the original first Ratchet and Clank game, which made gameplay a little awkward at times. New ship gameplay, familiar enemies, familiar gadgets, and old school characters will all be in the game as well. Also, you might want to keep in mind that a lot of the secret areas and secret pathways of the original PlayStation 2 version of Ratchet and Clank are likely to return. So make sure to kind of remember them as you're playing through the game. But however guys, that's everything you need to know about Ratchet and Clank for PlayStation 4. Of course, everything else you will learn about as you play through the game for yourself next month. We're not too long away until the launch of the game, and I honestly can't wait. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time now, ever since it was first revealed, so thank God it's not too long away. However guys, I've been Cynical, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.